Hello and happy Friday, and welcome back to another riveting episode of Coffee and Cuddles. As always, I am Coffee, aka Craig, and by my side, as per usual, is Cuddles, aka Anna Marie.
So grab a mug and join us, won't you?
I think I shall grab a mug and join us. So we are us. No, we have met the enemy and they are us, or something. So I guess
So that makes us the enemies?
in this case, we have met the hosts and they are us. That sounds better, I think.
I get very confused when you do stuff like that. So I was thinking the other day.
Uh-oh.
What uh-oh?
Thinking scary thinking stuff.
Well, they always say you never want women to be quiet because that's a dangerous proposition.
Double dangerous. All right.
Very dangerous.
I'm intrigued now.
Well, think about it. I mean, if we're not talking about something, if we're just being quiet, we're not making any conversation, you don't know what's going on up in here.
So is that like silence is golden, but a quiet toddler is suspicious?
Are you calling me a toddler?
Not at all.
Okay. You never know what's going on up in here. I think I was listening to it on the radio and somebody said something along the lines of a woman is playing a game of chess and every piece on the chessboard is also playing their own game of chess. So there's like a million things running through our heads.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very scary. So if it would be a movie title, it would be Quiet Girlfriend or Quiet. I'll have to think about this. I'm going for like the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon thing. So Silent Girlfriend, Thinking Girlfriend.
Keep working on it.
It's a process.
It's a process. All right.
Do not all give me nuggets. All right.
Okay. Remember how that scene in Julie and Julia, how they were trying to figure out the title for the cookbook, and they just had all these ideas all over the board, just pinned up on the board, and they were just moving words around to figure out what would work best. That's what you need. You need a board with a bunch of push pins and Post-it notes.
I do. So if there's anybody out there that would like to sponsor us and send me a magnetic board with words, hey, I'm not above taking gifts.
What about the push pins? You need a board with push pins.
Well, that's fine.
Post-it notes. That's how they did it in the movie.
All right. So then Post-it notes and push pins. What do I care? I want free stuff.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not a bug above. I'm not a bug. Well, apparently I'm not a bug. I'm not.
I hope you're not a bug, or I'll have to swat you.
I'm not above taking gifts at all. The opinions.
All right. While he's contemplating what he was saying and taking a swig of coffee, I'm going to get back to my thought, which is originally where I was going until we veered right off the freeway and into this abyss. Abyss.
Yes.
Abyss. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that you and I, that
us,
our togetherness, our relationship is a lot like that mug of coffee right there.
Oh,
it's comforting.
Okay.
And did you put cocoa in there?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's balanced in a way, equal parts of coffee and cocoa, I'm assuming, because I didn't see you do the mix. So we're going to look at this, at the topic of how we're like that cup of coffee. And now that I've completely confused everybody who's listening, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about compromise.
Okay.
So basically, you were going to say something.
No, I can wait.
No, go ahead.
It reminded me of a joke. My wife wanted a dog. I didn't want a dog. We compromised and we got a dog.
Okay, well, that's not a real balanced relationship. That's not a balanced equation, because any balanced relationship has this outcome of understanding where I give a little, you give a little, and we come to an understanding. We come to equilibrium. Ooh, that's a big word.
Big word.
Big word. So, for example, Valentine's Day just happened, and I hope all of you had a wonderful Valentine's Day, whatever it was you chose to do. And you and I had talked about how we were going to go to dinner, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Coffee here had this great idea that we were going to go to this Italian restaurant that, come to think of it, you haven't been to in a while. I haven't been to in a while. And we definitely haven't been there together. So what?
Just the way you said that, we definitely have not been there. We definitely have not been there together.
Well, because sometimes I won't remember that we have been to a certain place, because after a day of dealing with 7 and 8-year-olds, I'm lucky I can form a thought of my own at all. So as I was driving home and we were discussing, going to this place, we both came to the realization that chances of getting a table within a decent time frame of less than a 2-3 hour wait was probably not going to happen, right?
Yes.
So then we had to compromise. We're going to get dinner, but where were we going to go? So I threw out some ideas. You threw out some ideas. We happened to be heading in the direction of the idea that we were both kind of thinking of. And voila, we came to an understanding and we did dinner.
We did.
Mm-hmm. So we went out, we got dinner, had dinner at home.
We seem to compromise very well together.
We do.
I've always been told that it's not a good negotiation unless both parties leave the table upset about something. So no, I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm saying that's what I've been told, or what I've heard over the years. And the idea is if both parties are unhappy, then neither side won. Which in previous relationships that I've been entangled in, or previous entanglements that I've had relationships with, either way, it always seemed like the compromise came at the cost of me or what I wanted to do. And I'm not saying that was always the case, or maybe that may not have been the case at all. It's just the way I remember it. But in this current relationship, compromise is an actual, like, you throw out ideas, I throw out ideas, and we both agree on something that we can live with.
Exactly.
And neither one of us feels like, oh my God, you always get your way, or you always get your way, or whatever.
Nope, I don't ever really see that happening, because we always find that happy medium. And it could be on anything. It could be on something simple like, where are we going to go to lunch? Or it can be something like, how are we going to put dishes away in the cabinet? Because I've always done it one way and you have your way. And then we just find that happy medium, right? So it's something that's definitely key. It's key in a cup of coffee, because you want that equilibrium. You want something that's going to be comforting and something that matches all of your senses. It fills your nose, it fills your taste buds, it makes you feel all warm and giddy. And I don't know, I don't really drink coffee, and when I do, it makes me hyper.
Well, as the resident coffee drinker in this partnership, I agree with your sentiments.
Oh, good. So I did it right. All right. Good for me. Pat myself on the back. Oh, thank you for patting me on the back. So it's just something that's definitely key, because when you're able to compromise, you are definitely a very compatible couple. I think if we were constantly, well, not constantly, but if we were always at odds about things, I don't think we would be going as strong as we have been going.
Absolutely not. You can't survive where there's no middle ground. There's no, to use your word, there's no equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
One side always seemingly gets their way, and it's not good. And when you and I discuss things, I'll have my ideas, you have your ideas, and because we have such a strong bond and we can work through things, I really have never once felt like you've gotten your way. Like, oh, she always gets her way or any of that. We would have a long discussion about why you were wrong.
Why I was wrong.
Exactly. See,
Excuse
I'm
me.
compromising. It's your turn to be.
No. Oh,
No, that's not how. That's not how.
calendar, because
Right.
I need to pencil in which days I get to be wrong and which days you're going to be wrong. And if the dog did something he's not supposed to, then he's totally wrong.
I will take like 2 days a month. You can have the rest.
Now, wait a minute. That's not compromising. That's like a totally unbalanced cup of coffee.
Totally unbalanced.
That's one that's like more coffee than it is water. I'm assuming that can actually happen.
Yes.
Because I just remember, my first introduction into the world of coffee was the way my dad drank coffee. Do any of you listening remember Sanka? That container of coffee.
It was orange.
Crystals.
My grandmother drank Sanka.
Okay, I just remember spoonfuls going into a cup and hot water, and voila, you had coffee. And believe me, coffee has totally changed since back then. Now, I don't even think they make Sanka anymore, do they?
Yes.
They do?
I believe they do.
Oh, wow. I'm going to definitely look for it the next time we go shopping. Not because I want to buy it. I just want to see it. Now that I've got us completely off topic once again, back to where we were, and we were talking about compromising. And he's pulling up images of Sanka. I love it. Okay, so in a relationship, you definitely do not want somebody who 100% thinks like you do or 100% behaves like you do. Because if you're basically with someone who is 100% like you, you're not going to be very happy with it. I don't think I could handle being in a relationship with someone who 100% thinks like me all of the time, because sometimes I don't even know what I'm thinking.
That's what you have me for. On paper, it sounds really great. Oh, well, we think exactly alike. Well, that gets boring after a while, because if you both always have the same thoughts about the same things, there's no room for growth. There's no room for expanding your mind. There's no room for any of that stuff, because it's always the same thing all the time. So opposing views, as long as they're done correctly and tempered with love and respect and everything, then opposing views are absolutely a wonderful thing that you need in your life. I would be so bored if you had exactly the same ideas that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good way to
I don't think that'd
be there's nothing compromising about that.
No, it wouldn't work. So now I'm sure people are probably saying, all right, well, how do you and Craig handle it? How do you two go through compromises? And it's basically a lot of talking. So, for example, we were having dinner tonight and he looked at this one wall and he said,
I want my accent wall.
Okay, don't shout at people. Thank you. See, compromise. No, I almost made him spit out coffee. So we have this wall behind the sofa, and you happened to look at it and you said, and we're going to paint that wall purple. And what did I say?
No.
I didn't say no. I said, wait a minute. Purple's not going to go with the painting that's on that wall.
There was other words in there, but effectively you said no. You stifled my creativity.
I did not stifle your creativity.
I'm feeling stifled over here. I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't stifle your creativity. I just said it wouldn't go with the painting that's on that wall. Now, what we had not discussed was what shade of purple. Because when I was thinking of purple, I was thinking of purple like Harold and the Purple Crayon purple. And I was saying just purple, which wouldn't work. But there are many, many shades of purple, yes, which we haven't discussed.
I was asking for purple, but purple.
Okay, but there's purple and there's purple. There's purple on your computer screen right now. And apparently the dog is being snarky. So, there's something that we haven't talked about. We started the topic, but now it's a matter of, what shades of purple are you thinking of? What shades of purple would I be thinking of because of that painting that's on the wall? So it's a little give and take until we find a purple that would work.
I think we need a little backstory here. For many years, I've teased her about, like, we'd be talking and she'd have her camera on her phone and it would be pointed at the ceiling, and I would say, "Oh, look at all that whiteness up there. we need something kind of color." And you're like, "No, we're not doing that." So that was definitely not compromising. But now that I'm here, we need to do a little more compromising and go visit Sherwin-Williams and say, "All right, what color purple are we going to make this house?" I mean,
wait. Whoa. I told you about this once. I was driving to work and I saw a house that was like Lakers purple and gold, and oh no, somebody lied to them.
Somebody lost a bet.
Somebody did lose the bet, because it's out there. It's purple in your face all the time. It's just too purple.
All purple all the time.
Mm-hmm. With gold accents.
Well, you have that in LA.
LA. I mean, the Lakers purple and gold. Okay, so one example of compromising, which we haven't completely done yet.
Stay tuned for more.
Oh, are we going to make this like a whole series about whether that wall is going purple?
Has the wall been painted? You just have to keep checking back every week in perpetuity to find out if it has been or not.
In perpetuity.
Oh, very good. Perpetuity. I like
every once in a while I come up with them. When you're trying to compromise, you have to talk things out. Here are the ideas I'm thinking of. Here are the ideas you're thinking of. Because if all you do is yell and scream and fight,
been there.
Nothing ever gets resolved. No, I don't recommend it either. I can't handle. So, a little backstory. Okay, so this is just something that I've been through, because I have been in relationships where compromise was a word you saw in the dictionary. It never, in some of the relationships I was in, compromise didn't really happen. It was more like whoever screams the loudest is probably going to get their way. That's not compromise. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not a relationship. That's a 24/7 fight. And one relationship in particular where there was a lot of yelling going on really, really kind of affected me. I cannot handle when a guy is yelling, raising, if his voice is very loud and aggressive at me, I can't handle it. And I go into shutdown mode. I can't do it. It's frightening. So compromise is something that works well for us, because if there was constant fighting going on, this would not be happening. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
I've been on both sides of that, where I've done yelling and I've been yelled at, and I don't recommend that whatsoever. And like you said, it's not a relationship. And sometimes you get to, this topic is going to sound a little risque, and I don't mean it that way, but we used to call that hallway sex. And what I mean by that is, you get to the point in your relationship where you pass each other in the hallway and you both say "screw you" to the other one at the same time. Only it would be a more colorful word that you would use toward your partner.
Well, we don't want to use that word.
No.
We care about all of you who are listening in.
Yes.
We don't want to hurt your ears.
You genteel people.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So compromise is something that definitely keeps us going strong. It keeps everything working, I think, in our relationship.
Yeah, I've never come across a situation where you say, "Baby, we need to talk," which are, "we need to talk." 4 words no man ever wants to hear. from his partner ever in their lives. Because usually, in my experience, that has never really led to anything good or positive. Like, we need to talk, and then ends with like, we're gonna go have a steak dinner or something.
I don't know what this is that he was chewing on.
McCoy is destroying our mail as we speak. He's very recycle conscious.
Well, see, that's something that we need to teach McCoy how to do with compromise.
And not eat the things that he shouldn't eat. But yeah, what I was saying was, we don't have those situations where one of us says we need to talk and pat the couch and sit down for a minute. It's more like, what do you think about this? Or what if we do this? Or how about we do this? Or whatever it works out to be. And I much prefer that over the one person always getting their way all the time.
Exactly, because it's not a good relationship scenario. It's not
definitely not healthy.
No, it's not healthy. I don't even know that you can qualify it or quantify it as a relationship if one person is always getting their way and the other person is just having to concede all the time. That's definitely not healthy. I mean, we've talked about communicating, which I think we do very well. And, another big C when it comes to having really good quality relationships is being able to compromise. I give a little, you give a little, and we find that happy medium like we did on Valentine's Day. Now, was it essentially where we wanted to do or where we wanted to go? No, probably not.
No, dinner was nice, but a chili and cheese dog is really not a romantic meal for Valentine's Day.
I know, but here's the thing, though. We were together.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something that you said. You said it didn't matter what kind of food it was, that all you needed was me.
Yes, very true.
So whether it's a chili cheese dog or a burger and a shake, doesn't matter. All we needed for Valentine's Day was each other.
Yes.
Now, did we talk about what we would do different next year? Mm-hmm. Yes, we would actually make plans ahead of schedule and not a couple of hours before we planned on doing it.
But with me, every day for you is Valentine's Day.
Aww. You're so... Oh, I left that rose at school again. Oh. Now, I love the fact that you will put up with these random thoughts that go whizzing through my head. Because the fact I left something at work has nothing to do with this whole topic. But it just
pops in there.
It just flew by.
You
have the drive-by thinking.
You have teacher brain. It's okay.
Is that what we're teacher brain?
You have teacher brain. I have chemo brain. Not that I've ever had chemo, but the effect is the same.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that doesn't sound pleasant at all.
No. And what I mean by that is people that go through chemo treatments usually, I don't know that it really technically affects their brain waves and their brain chemistry, but there have been studies that show that it do. And those of us that have had radiation and not chemo, we've kind of co-opted onto that chemo brain thing where your brain is never quite the same and your thought processes are all different now. And so it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of, I no longer have any testosterone in my body thanks to the cancer. So yeah, my brain chemistry is a little different. And one of the things that I really adore about you is you see that in me and you're like, okay, and you, over the years, you figured out how to deal with that without ever making me feel bad about it. You've never once picked on me for it. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you thought that, or you said that, and it's funny when we go out to dinner with our friend James, I will say something at the table totally out of left field. And they both look at me like, I can't believe you said that. And the running joke is sometimes even I don't know what I'm going to say until the words have left my mouth. And I went, oh, I went there.
And then the three of us wonder, are we going to get thrown out of this restaurant tonight? No, before anybody says anything, no, we have never actually been thrown out of any restaurants. But sometimes our conversations make us wonder who's going to tell us to go.
We've gotten some looks from other patrons and diners and from the staff that work there. Like, what is wrong with the 3 people at the table in the corner? I'm looking at you, Carl's Jr.
I thought they just got a kick out of the fact that we were just having fun.
Well, maybe. You never know. People are weird. I'm sorry. People are quirky. I don't want to say weird.
As are we.
Very quirky.
Extremely quirky. But that works for us.
It does. It's us.
It definitely is us. So, again, we're not trying to tell people, how their relationships should be. We're just talking about what works for us. So, we've talked about, open communication. And tonight we were trying to figure out, I'm sorry, I keep bumping into your arm. We were trying to decide on, what were we going to talk about tonight? And you had some ideas, and then I looked up some ideas. You had suggestions. I had suggestions, and we found that balance. We found that equilibrium.
We compromised and went with your topic.
But it was sort of a... Now, see, that just completely blows it out of the coffee cup.
Okay.
Coffee and Cuddles blows it out of the coffee.
She's making hand gestures for those playing at home.
I do that. I do tend to talk with my hands a lot. So I was looking at the topic ideas that you had written down, and it kind of got me thinking, ooh, this is kind of like this. So I would hate to think that we're only doing this because it was my idea.
No, I'm teasing you.
Okay.
We compromised and went with your idea. That's kind of like the running joke that we started the show with.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you were here at the time when I said that.
I was here at the time.
It's somebody looks an awful lot like you sitting in your chair in the studio.
Now, ever since the start of this show, I'm telling you, every part of my brain is playing chess, and every part of that part is playing a game of chess, and every part of that part is playing a game of chess. There are many thoughts going through this head right now of mine. My head. I know what I'm trying to say.
I think the people at home know what you're trying to say.
I sure hope they do, because if they don't, I don't know where we're going. If you know what I'm trying to say, please write in to Coffee and Cup.
P.O. Box.
We have a P.O. box?
Not yet, but we could have a P.O. box.
That would be interesting.
Maybe we'll make a virtual P.O. box.
A virtual P.O. box?
I don't know. Like a mailbox, just for the show.
See, here we go. We're talking about compromising. He has an idea. I have an idea. And we just got to find that equilibrium, that balanced cup of coffee. And if this dog would stop standing on my foot. Well, he was standing on my foot. It hurt.
Oh, it is that time. Unfortunately, I am out of coffee. So I will let you start and I will finish.
All right. So as always, we appreciate you listening. We are here every Friday. And of course, you might be listening to this in a few hours. You might be listening to it tomorrow. You might be listening it on your drive to work. So whenever you listen to this, we appreciate you tuning in. Please tell your family, your friends, your frenemies, people that you're standing in line behind at your favorite coffee place.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get some coffee places to like sponsor us or something with like
that would be cool.
Free merch or something. So if there's any coffee people out there listening, hey, reach out to us. Reach out to our marketing department, which is probably
we have a marketing department.
Me. That's this one of the many hats that I wear.
Oh wait, if you're the marketing department, then what am I?
Public relations.
Oh, okay.
All right. To go with what Cuddles said. I totally blank.
I believe that someone who looks like you sitting in your chair.
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate each and every one of you. We thank you all for listening. We hope you got something out of this. We hope you enjoyed it in some way. It is just a side note. It is our puppy's 1-year birthday today. So happy birthday, McCoy.
Happy birthday, little
Not
guy.
that you care about what we're talking about because it doesn't involve food. So, you're good. But we love you all. God bless. As always, this is just our 2 cents worth. Your mileage may vary. God bless, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.